So hi, this is the video about the Elves matchup, which I think is kind of straightforward because the basic play pattern is set up a machine gun and shoot down every elf you see, or insect, or dryad, all these pesky forest creatures. Okay, how do you do it? So lightning bolts are good. And if you know you play against elves, you shouldn't keep a weak hand against them. So flooding on cantrips, okos, also delvers and young pyromancers, and without counter protection isn't going to cut it. So you want early interaction. It doesn't need to be turn 1, but at least turn 2. You probably need to shoot down a creature, or sometimes when you cantrip, you have your force into Arcanist, into removal is fine as well. But you have to have a reasonable hand against them. Okay, so this is the most important thing you have to know, that these cards probably are not good enough. Sometimes the Delver draws are okay, where you play turn 1 Delver, remove their threat, and have maybe another Delver, and you can raise them. But this is rather corner case. And you will acknowledge it if you see a very aggressive hand. So this is the game plan, Dreadhorde Arcanist. This is the way you keep up with them. You have to be aware that Allosaurus Shepherd is very dangerous for you because it shuts down your counter spells. And this is the reason why you have to remove everything. You want to keep them as small as you can. One thing which is kind of difficult to evaluate, which threat you force. And I think from my experience, I think forcing something like Visionary is probably not going to cut it. You need to, Glimpse of Nature is something you need to force, and Natural Order is something you need to force. And I think Elfish Visionary is a bait a lot of the times. If you can daze it, it's great. On the other hand, dazing spells is always great in the matchup, but it's also hard to do. So this is your pre-board plan, these cards maybe, and don't have a too clunky hand. This is the plan. So what changes post-board? I bought in the extra Force of Negation because their spells are really dangerous and you have to counter them. This is the way you lose. Then the Sweepers are obviously very good. The Submerge is good for early interaction, especially Allosaurus Shepherd. And it gets really annoyed when he's protected by Wild Symbiote. And I bought in the Braid for the key creatures to remove. And that's it. So these 5 cards, it's basically your plan and what can go out. So my plan is I board out the young pyromancers because I don't think playing against them as a fair deck, which creates a board, is going to cut it. Oko is also bad, but it's a blue card and it can be a roadblock like young pyromancer, but it's more a blue card. So I board out an Oko. On the draw, I will board out a Daze. And on the play, I think I will keep it the same, like something like this. Daze daze what you can. If you have the target, just daze it. It will have a very short usage time, but if you can daze something, that's great, because it's early interaction, and this is a lot of the time all you need. So postboard gets, I don't know if the matchup really gets better, but I think so. They get some decays, but they don't usually board much. These days they don't have something like chokes. I mean, decays can stop this, and you maybe don't have a threat. This is something you have to keep in mind with cantripping, that losing your threat can suck sometimes. So yeah. Okay, so extra force of negation for something like natural order. And the major game plan is keep them as small as you can. This is the advice I can give. And yeah, this is your game plan. This is your game plan. Goodbye.